Today, on our review, we have the men's rugged Zeblaze Ares 3 Pro watch. It features an AMOLED display with excellent clarity and vibrant colors, the ability to make calls, and use the watch as a mini speaker. The watch boasts a combination of metal and plastic materials in its construction, a wide selection of watch faces, an always-on display feature, and many other useful features. They're not perfect, though, and they do have their drawbacks that you should be aware of. But considering the price, it's forgivable. We'll cover all the pros and cons of these watches in this video. Let's dive in. The watches come in a bright box. I purchased the black ones, but they also come in blue and gray. As we can see here, they boast an Ultra HD AMOLED display, calling capabilities, round-the-clock health monitoring, and a wide range of sports modes, as stated on the back of the box. Let's open it up and see what's inside. Wow, they are beautifully nestled in foam, so there's no need to worry about them arriving damaged. Let's leave them aside and see what else is included. A detachable silicone strap, a charging device, and an instruction manual in various languages. Now, let's take a closer look at the watches themselves. The watch's casing is made predominantly from matte plastic. We can see two microphones at the bottom and one on the right side. On the left side, there is a speaker. Yes, you can make calls and listen to music with these watches. On the right side, there are two metal buttons. The bezel is also made of metal and protrudes slightly, which is excellent for protecting the screen from accidental wall impacts. The screen glass is scratch-resistant, specifically Corning Gorilla Glass. At the bottom, there are sensors for heart rate monitoring, blood oxygen levels, and charging contacts. In terms of dimensions, the watches are 47 mm wide, 15.3 mm tall, and weigh 35 grams without the strap, and 57 grams with it. The strap is quick release, 22 mm wide, made of soft liquid silicone, with a metal buckle and two retainers on the other side. It's comfortable and has many holes, making it suitable for most wrists. The wrist circumference is 235 mm. However, I must say, I didn't like the strap. It doesn't make your wrist sweat, it's comfortable, and it fits well, but it's like a dust magnet. It collects dust on itself as if it's coated with grease. Maybe I got a faulty one, I don't know. I had to wash it with soap and dishwashing liquid right away. Even after 3 weeks of testing, the problem hasn't completely gone away. It's much better now, but I still have to rinse the strap under water every 3 to 4 days. I recommend getting a different strap right away if you decide to buy these watches. I ordered this black stainless steel strap, and it came with a link removal tool. I had to remove 2 links, which was straightforward. Personally, I like how the watches look on this strap. AliExpress offers silicone and leather straps as well. I'll leave some links in the description for various straps and the watches themselves, where I made my purchase. If you're interested, check them out, the price is very affordable. When you turn on the watches, you can select from a variety of languages, including Russian, Polish, and others. To pair the watches, you can scan the QR code from the manual or find the FitCloud Pro app on the Play Store. Download it, install it, and pair the watches. Although I've been wearing the Mi Band 6 recently and thought that these bulky watches wouldn't be suitable for me, I've now decided to keep them for myself. It's all because of the large AMOLED screen, which measures 1.43 inches and boasts a brightness of 1000 nits and a pixel density of 466 pixels per inch. The watch display is colorful, bright, and sharp. Even in bright sunlight, everything is visible, especially at its highest brightness level of 5 divisions. Since it's an AMOLED screen, the watch supports an always-on display mode in both analog and digital formats. In this mode, the watch lasted precisely 4 days for me, which is quite good. In normal mode with continuous sleep and heart rate monitoring, they lasted 10 days. Charging the watch from 0 to 100 takes 2 hours. The magnetic charger attaches and holds well, but it can disconnect if the cord is tugged. The screen can be activated by pressing either of the two buttons. There's also a feature to turn on the screen when you raise your wrist, and it responds with minimal delay. By the way, there's a separate setting for how many seconds the screen will stay active when you press the button or raise your wrist, which is convenient. When you lower your wrist, the watch screen instantly turns off, helping to conserve battery. However, you can't turn off the screen by covering it with your hand. You can force the screen to turn off by pressing the top button. Swiping down opens quick access to essential functions such as brightness adjustment, power saving mode, do not disturb mode, flashlight, phone finder, and settings. There's also a setting for Bluetooth calls. When this feature is enabled, you can receive and make calls from your list of added contacts or by dialing a number. Incoming calls will display the caller's name and phone number, and you can either accept or reject the call. You can also adjust the volume of the watch's speaker during calls. The microphone in the watch is good, and the person you're speaking to can hear you clearly. For calls from messaging apps, you'll receive a call notification, which is useful, but you can't answer the call. If you disable this feature, you won't be able to accept calls. These watches can also be used as a media device after activating this function. After activation, you can listen to any audio content from your smartphone, using the watch as a speaker. The watch's speaker is good, quite loud, and doesn't distort at maximum volume. The sound quality is similar to a smartphone. For example, you can play music and leave your smartphone behind. You can also skip tracks and adjust the volume through the player on the watch. The buttons are large and convenient. It's a pity that the track name isn't displayed, and there's no volume percentage display on the watch itself, which is a downside. When a new message comes in, the screen lights up, and a brief message preview is displayed, which you can open and read in full. Swiping up allows you to view all incoming notifications. Messages are differentiated by icons, whether they're SMS or messages from messaging apps. The text is legible, but emojis are not supported. Cyrillic characters are displayed well. However, there are no quick replies to messages, and you can't compose messages from the watch. The vibration is of medium quality. You can choose the vibration intensity, either strong or soft. You can also select between modes with vibration, vibration with sound, or no vibration at all. Swipe left for quick access to the menu, including the player. Weather, only for today, no weekly forecast. Sleep tracking, which works well but doesn't support daytime naps. Pulse measurement. And a daily activity overview. Here, you can see burned calories, steps, and the distance traveled. The watch keeps track of your steps throughout the day and provides weekly step statistics in the form of a graph. You can customize these options according to your preferences. Swipe right to access the main menu or press the lower button. You can also customize the function of the lower button. I set mine to access my contact list for calls with a single press and to activate Google Assistant with a long press, which is quite convenient and practical.
Включи музыку в YouTube.
Окей, включаю рекомендованные видео с YouTube.
There are two menu display styles, one in the style of Apple Watch with smooth animations, and another in the form of a regular list. The menu operates smoothly without glitches, thanks to the good hardware. The menu translations are generally good, with a few minor quirks. Overall, the translations are decent, though some watches have had worse translations. In the watch menu, you'll find options such as dialing numbers, contacts, recent calls, voice assistant, and daily activity. There are a few standard workout modes, but you can add more through the app, with up to 100 options available. Notably, workouts requiring GPS cannot be initiated from the watch, as it lacks a GPS module, but it could have used the smartphone's GPS, which is a drawback. Additionally, there's no built-in music player during workouts. After some exploration in the app, I did find a way to enable workouts with GPS. You need to open the app and click here. There are 3 modes to choose from. Interestingly, when you start a workout on the watch, nothing happens, you can only end the workout on your smartphone. However, this allows you to fully utilize the watch in this mode. After completing a workout, you can review workout details, view the route on a map, though zooming can be challenging, and access additional workout information. The watch and app can be synchronized with Google Fit and Health Connect, where all your data will be displayed. Regarding step tracking, the watch counts steps accurately and doesn't artificially inflate step counts when in transportation. The watch even includes a swimming workout mode, but I strongly advise against swimming or showering with it. The watch has an IP68 rating, splash and rain protection, and it can withstand brief immersions in cold water. However, moisture can accumulate due to the speaker and microphone openings. If you've tested your watch's water resistance, please share your experiences in the comments, it would be very interesting to know. In general, I wouldn't risk it. The watch measures heart rate accurately and doesn't register heart rate in the air. It can also measure blood oxygen levels, and its readings are comparable to those of the Mi Band. There's also an option for measuring blood pressure, but I wouldn't rely on these readings as it's not a medical device. The watch also offers continuous heart rate and blood pressure monitoring throughout the day. On average, the blood pressure readings seem to be accurate for me, typically around 120/80. The women's calendar here is actually for men. It displays the percentage of potential pregnancy. The actual calendar can be viewed in the app. There's a breathing exercise feature, a stopwatch, and a timer, but these don't support multitasking. In other words, there's no multitasking capability, which is a drawback. You can't set an alarm on the watch itself, it can only be enabled or disabled. Alarm settings are configured in the app. The Find Smartphone function works even in silent mode. There's a calculator, and a full-fledged calendar is also available. You can take photos, but only through the built-in app. Let me show you the app itself. It includes steps tracking, the women's calendar, sleep tracking and sleep phases, current and daily pulse, daily blood pressure and average blood pressure. You can initiate blood oxygen measurements from your smartphone. There are reminders for inactivity and reminders to drink water. You can enable the screen wake feature upon wrist rotation. Contacts can be added for dialing from the watch. You can also configure which apps send notifications. You can select any app, including system processes. The watch has 3 standard watch faces, like this one and this one, both are quite attractive. You can also install a custom watch face from the app. There are around 300 watch faces available, including classic ones, those with quick access to functions without going into the menu, and many designed for women. In essence, there's a wide variety to choose from, so you can find a watch face that suits your taste. The watch faces are sharp, with no visible pixels on the screen. The colors are vibrant, which is a real plus for these watches. You can also set a custom watch face with your own picture or photo. Summing it up, these watches are definitely worth the money. I purchased them for just $30, and for this small price, we get stylishly designed watches that I think many will like. They come with a clear and vibrant AMOLED screen without pixels, protected by Gorilla Glass, as well as a metal bezel that protrudes by a millimeter to protect the screen. There are metal buttons for function settings. There's a wide selection of watch faces, the ability to make calls and receive calls from the watch, smooth operation without freezes, full use of voice assistant,
Включи музыку в YouTube.
the ability to use the watch as a speaker, always on display, a calculator, a calendar, and impressive battery life of up to 12 days. As for the downsides, the standard strap tends to collect dust. There's no multitasking, you can't minimize the timer or stopwatch, and you can't start a workout with GPS from the watch. Weather information is limited to today, there's no weekly forecast. There's no track display and volume control in the music player. Charging takes a rather long 2 hours, although this is not critical. I like these watches, and for their price, they are a good choice. I can recommend them for purchase. I've told you about the pros and cons, and the decision is ultimately yours. Check out my other videos. Until next time, friends, goodbye.